Venice, an architectural jewel in its own right. And every 2 years, the backdrop for the granddaddy of design expos, the Biennale. Among the avid design fans are Swiss architect Daniel Spreng and his family. They've booked a guide for their tour of the show, taking them around the world in 4 hours.
I'm hoping for new insights and inspiration for my work. Plus, we love coming here, of course.
It's great seeing so many different countries and the ideas they have. Plus the different materials, and not forgetting the cultural influences.
First stop, not surprisingly, is the Swiss pavilion. It takes a look at both contemporary developments and past visions. At centre stage is a model of the Fun Palace designed by British architect Cedric Price. While the project never got off the ground, its pioneering forms and ideas have inspired generations of architects since the mid-20th century. Another highlight is the Korean pavilion, which won the Biennale's treasured Golden Lion Award. The pavilion features the monumental buildings of the North Korean regime, as well as the communist utopias presented in propaganda, from green factories to residential estates set in parks. They're accompanied by urban planning in South Korea and the ultimate manifestation of the modern concrete jungle. At this Biennale, the political dimensions of architecture loom large. This is a model of the landscape around the inner Korean border. The permeability of the military border is shown by both tunnels burrowed underground or birds as they immigrate without borders, symbolizing the dream of a future unified Korea.
I find the way the borders are dissolved between North and South interesting. For us in the West, this monumental, if not fascist architecture is hard to access. It's a rather bold show.
The Israeli pavilion likewise looks at how architecture and politics can influence each other. Mapped out in the sand are urban landscapes, neither urban nor suburban, that developed in modern Israel. This year's Biennale, with its focus on the social dimensions of architecture, has so far seen 50,000 visitors.
When you feel that the world shares the demands and the questions that the Biennale poses, you feel that at least my aim is fulfilled.
The Danish pavilion takes visitors right inside what it calls the empowerment of aesthetics. From dazzling daylight to a stroll through wood, grass, soil, and other natural substances.
I really enjoy Houston over here because of all the scents, how you can taste, feel, touch. It really makes you feel more open and connected with nature.
Among the other visitor magnets, the Austrian pavilion. It features 200 models of parliamentary buildings from around the world at a scale of 1 to 500. Between them, the 65 national pavilions cover the diverse ways in which modernity has been absorbed in architecture.
You can never take in everything, but you always get these impulses later that I try to pass on to my employees at the office.
The Architecture Biennale in Venice, inspiring others to build inspiring buildings in the future.